let's get going here. But many of these tunes are so ancient and old that Robert Burns might have heard them there in the second half of the 1700s. So that's pretty cool. Let's start with the Flowers of Edinburgh, written by James Oswald and printed and published during Robert Burns' time. What a fun tune here. Let's do it 2 times around. Here we go. Key of G, the Flowers of Edinburgh. 1, 2, 3. One more time. It's a tune I've shared many times here on the Play Along Sessions. This is our 209th Play Along session, by the way. I keep track of them, as I know you guys do. And, yep, since March 2020, this will be the 209th time we've gotten the chance to get together on a Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time from Chattanooga, from my place here in Chattanooga, right out there to you, wherever you are. So thanks to everybody for tuning in here. We've got plenty of good folks here. It's so cold. This is a good time to remind you fiddle players to watch out for your instruments. This cold weather and the dry conditions in your house. You can have problems with your bow hairs. Your strings can snap or break. And your instrument can even develop cracks in them. And so you want to be careful there. For me, today, I was warming up to get ready to play for you guys, and my fingers are so dry and cracked that it hurt my thumb to hold my bow. That seldom ever happens, but I had to put a Band-Aid on my thumb here just so it didn't hurt to touch all the cracked, dry skin in my thumb. So yeah, it's cold times to be playing, and cold times for your fingers, that's for sure. So I hope you guys are doing well. Keep an eye on your instruments and be careful there. Russ, nice to see Russ and David. Nice to see you guys both. Appreciate it. And there's my dad piping in. Yes, I've got a special tam o'shanter, I think is the name of this kind of cap, for Felix today, in honor of all the Scottish tunes we're playing. And here's a tune I know that old Robbie Burns would have known. It was first published in 1734, so this was decades before Robert Burns was even born. This tune was popular. It's a Scottish jig called the Stool of Repentance. and I've played this one every year about this time. The name of this tune refers to a chair that folks would have to sit on, sinners at church, and they were supposed to repent while they sat there. I know that some of you guys will make jokes about it, so do your best and go to it, Franco and David, if you want. It's your turn to do that. All right, but here we go. I love this tune. It's in the very bright key of A. So you fiddle players, remember to play G sharp, 3 sharps there. It's important for you to play all 3 sharps. And we got G sharps. 1, 2, here we go. Times around, one more time, a little faster. Here we go. Go. What a happy tune that one is called. It's called the Stool of Repentance, a very ancient traditional Scottish jig that old Robbie Burns would have certainly known. Maybe he made fun of it too, who knows, for sure. All right, let's keep going here. I'll play some tunes and talk a little less. Another tune that was popular, first published in 1809, but probably played before that. Written by Nathaniel Gow, very famous son of the very famous fiddle player from Scotland, Neil Gow, and it's called the Fairy Dance. It's a single Scottish country dance or reel, and you can hear this played at sessions all over the place. I first heard it on a recording of kind of Baroque fiddle playing, a group that played Baroque music, but all of this music would have been popular and all hundreds of years ago. All right, here we go. Let's do this a couple times around, the Fairy Dance. 1, 2, 3, 4. great Scottish dance tune from the early 1800s called the Fairy Dance. A lovely tune there. Well, I certainly look forward to reading all your comments. I missed you all last week. Of course, it was the second Monday of the month, and that's when I stay here in Chattanooga and visit with my own local players, and we play some tunes. I lead really the only reading session where adults, people of any age and level, can come and read down some Celtic tunes, a mix of usually Irish and Scottish tunes, some Welsh tunes, just like I like to share with you guys. In fact, we use pretty much the same tune repertoire, and I introduce new tunes to them once a month. So we get together once a month on that second Monday. And then I spend all my other Mondays with you guys. So once again, I'm looking forward to reading all your fun comments, and it looks like you're all having a good time, and that's what we're trying to do here today, particularly, is just have some fun, share some tunes, and it's good for your brain to think of just fun tunes to play. That's what I think. All right, guys, let's keep going. The next tune we're going to do is a traditional Scottish folk song called Wild Mountain Thyme, and it's also known as Will You Go, Lassie Go. Been recorded many times by all kinds of different bands and singers and groups over the years, Celtic bands, the Celtic Thunder and the Celtic Women, and many other groups and singers. It's a lovely melody, and you can play it many different ways. I've heard it played in the kind of 6/8 time and 3/4 time, like a waltz, but I've also heard it done in 4/4 time, and that's my exclusive arrangement that I shared with you guys this week in your newsletters. When I share all my tunes, this is my exclusive arrangement in the key of G, and I heard several versions of it where they did it in 4/4 time. So that's what we have here. But if you go to YouTube or whatever and listen, you might hear many different ways that this tune is played. And of course, the chorus of it, very beautiful, and we'll all go together to pull Wild Mountain Thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? So you can play it and sing it as we do it here 2 or 3 times. Once again, it was composed long ago by a Scottish man, but then lyrics were given to it by Francis McPeak, a Northern Ireland contribution there. So it's a mix. It's a real Scotch-Irish tune that way. But the melody is Scottish, and of course you can hear that in the wonderful, all the times we play the short, long kind of sound, which sounds very, very Scottish when we do that. All right. Oh, let me say hi to Janice, who just stopped in. She's seldom been late, but you can watch the first part that you missed later on, so that'll work out. But here we go with the Wild Mountain Thyme. 1, 2, 3. Beginning. What a beautiful instrumental that makes, huh? You don't have to sing that to enjoy the Wild Mountain Thyme. A lovely, lovely Scottish melody. I tried to give it a little bit of a bagpipe effect there with some shifting. So I hope you enjoyed that. All right, so many people tuned in here today. I seldom do this, but I'm so appreciative. Of course, I come on here on a Monday night and just love to do this. And of course, I let folks know how to make donations. If you can make a donation, fine. If you can't, that's fine too. If just your attendance and your comments mean just so much to me, and I'm happy with that. But so many wonderful trad friends out there also make donations, and I just appreciate that so much. And I'd just like to say thanks for some of the folks that donated this past week to kind of start 2025. I seldom do that during the actual session, but really quickly, let me just say thanks to Jan and Laura and Sue and Mary and Chris and Joanne and Nashville Harp and Catherine Lee and Mary and Russ and Al, Sue and Kirksey and Sarah and Heather as well. Such wonderful folks out there. I just want to say thanks so much for helping keep this program going, and with your kind of affirmations to my PayPal account. I appreciate every single one of them, and I just hope you guys know that. And if you can't, you know what? That's fine too. I just want everybody to come here and have fun. I've always enjoyed just sharing tunes, and I've done it in any place I am, every community I have been. So now I get the worldwide community to share them with you. So thanks again. This is a good time to remind you I'll be back next week on January 27th, and the week after that as well, February 3rd. So this is the first of 3 play-along sessions that I'll do in a row. Next week, January 27th, as I look past past playlists, it seems like the last Monday in January, here the last couple of years in a row, I've done kind of a theme of beautiful melodies. So next week's playlist will be full of the most melodic Celtic tunes I know, some medium speed, some slow. We probably won't hardly do any fast tunes at all. Even the reels or jigs I pick will be a mellow, beautiful tunes. So that'll be a fun session. I also like to remind you that I'll be part of Fiddle Hell Online, which is happening this year, April 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'll be doing a slow session that everybody can join in on as part of their options if you sign up for Fiddle Hell Online. So don't forget that. And I'll be at the John C. Campbell Folk School doing a weekend of Irish fiddle tunes, and that might be fun if you want to come and join me there in beautiful Brasstown, North Carolina. I'll be there May 31st and June 1st that weekend. So maybe you can join me there. Hello to Ellen, who's joining us from Yellow Springs, Ohio. And there's Marcia. Yes, Marcia, I do play Inisheer. Not going to play it today. That's a pure Irish tune, and we're playing all Scottish ones today in honor of Burns Night, Robert Burns, the Scottish national poet. But we'll put that in maybe next week, Marcia. That would be one of the most beautiful melodies I could think of, and I haven't played that recently. So thanks for that request. We'll keep that in mind. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's do another 30 minutes of tunes here. I think I've brought everybody up to date with all my announcements. The Atholl Highlanders. This is a great 4-part Scottish jig. We'll do it 2 times around altogether, but there's 4 sections, and it's a wonderful, wonderful, exciting tune, especially if you could play it along with some other folks. All right, here we go. Key of A, another exciting A major tune. Let's listen to this Highlanders. Time around, one more time, a little faster. What do you say? Go. A very exciting Scottish jig there for you, all about those Highlanders. It's a really fun tune to play. We haven't played a slow, pretty one yet here. There's a lot of great Scottish melodies. I guess Wild Mountain Thyme was kind of slow and melodic and pretty. Here's a Scottish air now for you called MacPherson's Lament. And it's unique because when it ends on the wrong note in the wrong key. It's in the key of G, but it ends without being what we call resolved. So it leaves a haunting refrain there at the end. So here we go with MacPherson's Lament. 1, 2, 3. beginning. One more time. There, beautiful melody from Scotland, beautiful air called MacPherson's Lament. Hope you like that one. We need to keep on going here. I see a lot of different suggestions for next week's beautiful Celtic melodies playlist, so I'll keep those in mind. Thank you, Patty, for that. We might have to do another Scottish playlist as well. There's so many lovely tunes from Scotland, and of course, Irish tunes are my favorites. So I don't really have a big, deep repertoire of the Scottish melodies, although I have tons of books of tunes from both Ireland and Scotland that I could look it up. All right, guys, Riggs Are Bonny is the next tune, and this one is directly connected with Robert Burns. It was first published way back in 1675, so this tune has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and Robert Burns wrote lyrics to this melody when he heard it. In Scottish slang there, corn rigs, rigs are the furrows where you plow the field and plant your corn. So, and bonny, I think we all know that means are beautiful or wonderful or lovely. So here's a tribute, a melody that's in honor of planting corn. Nothing wrong with that, is there? This tune for fiddle players has a constant jump between this third finger D and this third finger A. Lots of times it happens over and over again in this tune. So watch out, and if you can just roll your finger over instead of picking it up and putting it over, that's the smart way to keep this tune melodic and better sounding. 2 times around on this tune, you repeat each section once. So this is this old traditional Scottish reel or country dance. Probably was a country dance back then. Let's talk about how bonny those corn rigs are. Here we go in the key of D. 1, 2, 3. tune from the 1600s called Corn Riggs Are Bonny, that Robert Burns would have been a big fan of that tune, that's for sure. I don't know when this next tune was first published, but it's a great tune. It's called The 100 Pipers, and I've performed with pipe bands and seen lots of drum and pipe bands, particularly from Pensacola when Fran and I lived down in Fairhope. We have a lot of neat memories of the pipe players there. We had friends who played the pipes, and I did a concert with them once. So while they can be loud and raucous, there's no doubt about it, they're best heard outdoors, I think. I do love the sound of pipes at the right time and place. So I think about those pipe bands when I play this tune called The 100 Pipers, also in the key of A, once again, all these bright, exciting sounding tunes from Scotland. I know Fran is making some great comments here today. I want to thank her for keeping the comments going, and she's the executive producer, and of course she's keeping an eye on Meg while I'm doing my show. Our dear kitty Meg, who is not a fan of the fiddle. So the two of them stay outside the door and keep busy. But Fran's going to do a virtual viewer roundup. So many states and Canadian provinces and of course Mexico that people are tuning in from. So I hope she's been trying to keep track of it. So here we go. Let's do the 100 Pipers. 3 times around. 1, 2, 1. Another great Scottish jig there for you called the 100 Pipers. It's always so much fun to do tunes and have the names of the tunes make people think of various things. We've got some reminiscences here with Deborah Levine thinking of the contra dances that at Fiddle Hell with David Kaner at the helm. Yes, great, wonderful David Kaner. And Diane Gruber, nice to see her there in Townsend. My dad's remembering about plowing a field, and so the corn Riggs Are Bonny made him think of walking a horse and plowing those furrows, the rigs in the field there. So that's a lot of fun to have tunes themselves bring up memories. Fran's also remembering how we would have the pipe band stop by McSherry's Irish Pub after marching in the Mardi Gras parades that we would have down there, and they would come in and shake the walls. I'll never forget how loud their pipes reverberated inside the building, and everybody was cheering and excited. It was great. All right, guys, we got time for a few more tunes. Boy, this hour is just flying by, making me think of all sorts of things. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. I appreciate you sharing the news on your Facebook feed and letting people know about the sessions and saying nice things about them and that they're fun. And that's why we're already at session number 209 here, 6 years in. It's thanks to all your wonderful you followers and the way you promote it and help out and everything else. So anyway, really great here today to see you all and imagine you and to the far corners of North America and beyond playing along with me. Here's the reel of Tullochgorum in the key of D. This tune, another little Scottish reel that made its way over here to the U.S. and turned into an old-timey tune as well called Jamie Allen. But we're going to play it like the Scots do in the key of D. Here we go. 1, 2, easy fun tune. Might have known, called The Reel of Tullochgorum, another good Scottish tune. So the whole hour's been filled with Scottish tunes, many of them hundreds of years old, and ones that might have been known by Robert Burns himself. I don't know if any of you are going to get to be participating in any Burns Night celebrations. Fran and I did many times around back in our days in Mobile, where there was a robust Scottish society, and so that's how I know so much about the Burns Night suppers, because we went to many of them. And one of them we won in a raffle. We won a bottle of Highland Park Scotch whiskey with lots of peaty flavor to it, very smoked and peaty, and neither of us liked it that much. We shared it a lot with people who did like it, but that was our introduction to the peaty scotches, and so that brings back some memories of that. All right. Once again, isn't it wonderful? No matter where you are, how cold it is outside, none of us had to go out or get bundled up or brave the elements in any way to play tunes together. So the modern miracle of the interwebs, right? So it's been great to have you here today, and that's why we keep doing this. The last two tunes we're going to do, Auld Lang Syne, which I did. We all know the original, which I did share with you back on our last session of 2024. I like to play it as the last tune of each year. And Robert Burns wrote the lyrics to that. So when we say, "When old acquaintance be forgot," well, he wrote those words. And so they live on and on and on in his honor. But he wrote them to a different melody. He did not use that melody. He used another old Scottish tune as the melody. And that's what we're going to play now. Before 1799, this was the melody that everybody sang Auld Lang Syne to. And after that, after his death, something happened and somebody picked another melody, Scottish melody, and that's the one we all know today. But I love this melody. It's beautiful, mellow. You fiddle players get to play a lot on your G strings. And it's just, I think it's a more sentimental, melancholy melody. And I'd rather sing Auld Lang Syne to this one, just like Robert Burns did. So we'll play this one time through, and then we'll go into Mairi's Wedding, a wonderful Scottish reel to finish up. Are you guys ready? Here we go. The original Auld Lang Syne in the key of G. 1, 2, 3. You agree? I dropped my bow. I don't think I've ever done that before. Luckily, it's a carbon fiber bow and nothing I have to worry about. Don't you agree that's a beautiful melody? Here we go, Mairi's Wedding. Thanks for joining me today, January 20th, 2025, for tunes from Scotland. I really enjoyed playing for you guys and sharing tunes. You all take care, stay warm, stay sane, and hope to see you all next week for beautiful Celtic melodies on the 27th. Bye for now, guys. Bye-bye.